Welcome back to my beloved Thailand. There are moments in travel that stay with you long after the journey ends. Moments that linger in the quiet corners of your memory. Like an unresolved question. It had been exactly 3 years since I last walked through this narrow alley of a Bangkok night market. The city around it had grown taller and faster. But this small food store looked untouched by time. The same metal counter, the same steam carrying the scent of garlic. And behind the counter stood the same woman. The woman who had stayed in my memory all this time. Tied to an unspoken guilt I could never quite shake. Her hair was tied back, her forehead glistening with sweat under the warm incandescent bulb. She looked tired from the relentless heat and hours on her feet. Yet she greeted me with a smile that was still so genuinely charming and warm. Looking at her face, a heavy wave of regret hit me. Why on earth couldn't I see that natural charm 3 years ago? Seeing her unpretentious, pure presence right in front of me only deepened the shame of how foolish I had judged her in the past. To her, I was just another passing customer now. But for me, my mind pulled me backward 3 years into the past to a taxi ride on a Bangkok highway. It was 8 a.m. I had packed my bags for a 1-month teaching assignment at a rural university in northeastern Thailand. Hailing a taxi to the airport, I met a driver with kind eyes and warm grandfatherly smile. When he learned I was from Korea, his face lit up.
See you later.
As the empty highway stretched ahead, our conversation drifted from traffic to family. And that was when his voice filled with an unmistakable pride. He spoke about his 26-year-old daughter. She had recently graduated from university and was working hard every single day to build an independent life.
perfect
Perfect.
ใช่พวกนั้นหน้าตารอ perfect
ขอบคุณครับ
ครับผมเขามาจากเกาหลี
มาจากเกาหลี
นักแสดงที่เมืองไทย
เมืองไทย
ใช่เขาชอบผู้ชายไทย
ผู้ชายไทย
เขาชอบ
ลูกสาวอายุ26 Wow. She is smart, beautiful, and works so hard, he said, beaming through the rear view mirror.
นายคุณ
But I was focused entirely on my lectures, with romance being the last thing on my mind. But his endless proud stories about her slowly wore down my indifference. Then he handed me his phone.
Facebook
On the screen was a polished studio photo, likely her university graduation portrait, wearing a crisp student uniform. She looked extraordinarily elegant and stunning. Caught up in the cheerful mood, I joked with a grin.
ฉันจะดูแลลูกสาวของคุณ
โอ้โหกูดเดี๋ยวติดต่อให้เดี๋ยวจะคุยกันเอาเอง
It was said purely in jest. Yet, I couldn't deny that a genuine spark of attraction had already begun to take hold of my heart.
คุณชื่ออะไรครับ ดูยุงบิน
Do Yung Bin.
ใช่
Before dropping me up at the terminal, he wrote down an address and phone number on a small scrap of paper. When you return to Bangkok, visit her store. Just tell her my name. See you. Line. ขอบคุณครับ For the next 30 days in the quiet countryside, that slip of paper stayed tucked inside my notebook. Teaching at the rural campus was a breath of fresh air. The students were shy yet incredibly warm, greeting me with polite bows and genuine smiles every morning. Yet, after long days of lecturing, as I sat on my quiet balcony,
น้องครับร้านอาหารอยู่ที่ไหนครับ
ร้านอาหารเดินตรงไปค่ะ
ตรงไป
จอดรถใช่ค่ะเดิน
watching the sunset melt over endless green rice paddies,
ขอบคุณครับ
I sometimes open my notebook, seeing that small handwritten address.
그나마 낫네
My thoughts would drift back to Bangkok, wondering about his daughter behind the photograph, and counting down the days until my return. When I completed my duties and finally came back to Bangkok, my heart was racing with nervous anticipation. That very evening, I navigated the crowded labyrinths of the night market until I found her store. With every step deeper into the bustling maze of neon lights and sizzling food carts, my heart fluttered like a nervous teenager. I found myself smiling at the playful scenarios running through my head. Should I casually ask for her signature dish first? Should I smile and say her father sent his regards from the morning highway? Lost in those sweet, foolish daydreams, I eagerly scanned every store number, convinced that a scene straight out of a romance movie was waiting just around the corner. Then I saw her. From a distance, I recognized the shape of the store he had described. And standing there was a young woman who vaguely resembled the girl from the photo.
살려고 했는데
But something was different.
지금 절로 제가 오면 안 되는데 좀 기다려야겠다
Reality didn't match the idealized image I had carried with me for a month. Her appearance, the atmosphere, the way she carried herself. As I approached, she noticed the customer and called out cheerfully, "Sawadee-ka."
사와디캅
Then she looked directly into my face. In that split second, her smile paused.
무
I saw a flicker of realization in her eyes.
오케이 무 타올라이캅
Her father had clearly told her about the Korean lecturer. She knew exactly who I was.
Eat here 잘 Beer some beer
And in that exact moment, a cold, selfish reaction took over. She was not the airbrushed model from the studio portrait. She was an exhausted young woman covered in cooking oil, drenched in sweat, fighting through the brutal evening heat to earn an honest living. And in that sudden collision between my shallow fantasy and the raw reality of her labor, I felt a petty disappointment. Instead of introducing myself and honoring her father's kindness, I chose cowardice. I pretended to be just a lost tourist, pointed silently at a menu item, and avoided her gaze. She understood instantly. She swallowed her surprise, lowered her eyes,
Tip. Happy Songkran.
and treated me as nothing more than a customer.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Thai.
We chose silence to spare each other embarrassment.
ครับ
I paid the bill and disappeared into the crowd. And now, 3 years later, here I was standing at the very same counter. As she carefully prepared for my meal, I noticed something I hadn't seen before. Standing behind the store was a little boy. About 3 years old boy, contentedly rolling a small toy across the floor. She handed me the food and our hands brushed briefly.
อ๋อขอบคุณครับ80
She gave me that same warm, tired smile once more.
ลูกชายอ๋อลูกชายน่ารักมากๆยินดีที่ได้รู้จัก
Watching her stand by her child, the full weight of my past foolishness became crystal clear. 3 years ago, I had judged her through the shallow vanity of a photograph. I had completely failed to understand what her father had truly been proud of.
Good.
He was never bragging about a flawless image on a screen. He was proud of a daughter who woke before sunrise, stood in front of scorching heat for 12 hours a day, supported herself, and was now fiercely protecting and raising a life of her own. Her true beauty was never something that could be captured by a camera lens. It lived in her resilience, her pure smile, and the quiet dignity with which she carried her life. I took my meal, stepped back into the flowing crowd, and whispered a quiet, belated apology and thank you in my heart. Travel teaches us that the world does not exist to fulfill our romantic daydreams. Real life is found in the honest sweat, the silent sacrifices, and the enduring strength of ordinary people building their lives through time.